guys! Welcome to Piano Rogues. I'm Aire, and today I would like to share with you a piece that I composed myself over the course of a bit more than a decade. I actually started this piece when I was still in music school. I was with a boyfriend that I felt very deeply for, and I kind of knew that he didn't feel quite the same way about me, and so I had a feeling that our relationship was going to be ending soon. Hopefully not so soon, but I knew it was coming. And I was feeling pretty lonely and sad about that. So one day I just was kind of sitting there in front of a keyboard and started playing something that kind of sounded the way that I felt at that time.
Hi, this is Aire here. I am facilitating, but not in the cut because this song is about her and what she has done.
So, anyway,
So you put it to the side for a while.
yeah, so I composed the first portion of the piece and I liked it a lot, and I was pretty happy with it, but I always wanted to make it a little bit longer and expand on it. And I tried a few things over the course of this more than a decade time period and was never totally happy with anything. But recently I began working on it again shortly after my dad passed away. And well, it just kind of came to me. So I mean, I still had to sculpt it and chip away at it and work at it, but I was able to make something that I was very happy with. Alright guys, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about the various iterations that this piece went through in the process of composing it, which, as I think I mentioned, took a little bit over a decade to actually finish it. The very first thing that I came up with was actually the left-hand accompaniment, and it began just as this. Just kept looping that. And then eventually I just kind of added this melody that just kind of came to my mind. So I was just sitting there just kind of feeling melancholy that day, and it just kind of happened. I kept messing around with that part of it for a while. I knew that I wanted the harmony to change at some point, so I kind of messed around with a few different things, and what I settled on was this, which was kind of a strange and ambiguous place for it to go, but I liked it, so. And that was pretty much all there was to the piece for a while. I'm not really sure how long it took before I came up with the next part. And I also don't really remember when I started making the left hand do this instead, which turned it into more of a waltz feel. It was already in 3/4 anyway, but once I did this, then it really felt like a waltz. So, it rested there for a while after I'd added this middle section. And I just kind of left it alone for a while. I played it sometimes. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it next. I knew I didn't really want it to end there or be finished yet. But it took a while before I started trying to compose another section for the piece. I actually came up with something a few years back that I don't remember at all anymore, that I really didn't like at all. That's probably why I don't remember it. More recently, I started playing with it again, and I started trying to enrich what I'd already done with it, which would be this. the harmony a little bit more by making these parallel fifths. And by the way, a fifth is just the distance between two notes on the piano. So parallel fifths means that I have multiple fifths moving together in the same direction. So after I came up with that, I kind of wanted to see if I could come up with another section for the piece again. I started playing with some different ideas. I was back to feeling pretty melancholy again because of another recent loss in my life. I'd just lost my dad, and this piece just once again seemed to fit how I was feeling. And so one day, sitting at the piano at work, I came up with this. And I really liked that, so I played around with that theme and I expanded it. I eventually settled on having it start very high on the piano and then gradually get lower and lower. And to me, this section of the piece in particular sounds a lot like watching the last leaf fall from a tree. Just that sense of loneliness and knowing that something is now lost forever and it can never be the way that it was ever again. And for me, this part of the piece especially captures that. And then from there, composing the rest of the piece, it really just became craftsmanship at that point. I worked on incorporating the themes and figuring out how I could blend my two sections together. And I tried to bring elements of everything that I'd done into the ending so that it would sound cohesive. That's pretty much it. That's how this piece was made. It's a deeply personal piece to me, so I hope that you will enjoy it. Thanks, guys, for listening. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like and subscribe. Bye!